Hey guys, Victor here with All Time Greats RC. Now I know what you might be thinking. You're thinking, why are we looking at a bunch of guys' butts? Well, what I'm doing is trying to be funny, is by entering a contest response by Vintage Oddball Cards. He wants us to find some cards that will bring us laughter. And I brought up this picture. It was in my basement, and it was given to me as a gift actually from a friend of mine. I work for the railroad, and I am a mechanic by nature. Now I've had every position possible at my place of work. And this picture is symbolism of sometimes what we have to do at the railroad. Sometimes we're troubleshooting a locomotive, and this thing just doesn't want to run, or it doesn't want to work. And there's a lot of times where we have to gather as a group of guys to sit down and try to troubleshoot what's happening and really think this thing through. And I'm going to tell you, 10 times out of 10, when we do that, when we come together, try to figure something out, 10 times out of 10, we resolve the issue. And that's kind of the symbolism behind this picture. You see these guys, it's probably early 1950s, and they have this vehicle. They're either mesmerized by the engine, or they are trying to figure something out. What is happening? What is going on? And I think it can relate to the card community as well. It's just a bunch of guys coming together, trying to figure out this whole card collecting thing and enjoying ourselves along the way. So it's not a picture of a bunch of guys' butts. There's a little bit more to it than that. So get your head out of the gutter. Somebody tell Pepino Man to calm down. So in reference to Vintage Oddball Cards response, I had a lot of fun with it. I just want to thank him for allowing us to dig through our cards and try to come up with funny stuff. And I had a good time with that this morning. I'm going to go ahead and start with this one here with Nolan Ryan over at the ranch. Shout out to Baseball Collector. Nolan Ryan at a ranch, trying to look sexy. Got his leg up on the bench there, posing with his shirt unbuttoned and trying to be cowboy sexy. Love that. Found that one hilarious. This one was a little, actually a little scary to me as far as comical. I would not want to be on the other end of that look of the hawk there. He looks like he's a little upset with somebody, and I would not want to be locking eyes with that man right there. I found this one here, Ken Griffey Jr. is kind of funny. I don't know what's happening in this card. I don't know if it's a Photoshop trick. I don't know if it's a swing and a miss, but Griffey looks a little bit too relaxed for it to be a swing and a miss, or I don't know what is happening in this picture, but this is hilarious. And I found this one here with Tony Gwynn. Everybody knows Tony Gwynn's got a big bat, but that was hilarious. What I found even more hilarious, I don't know, they were probably giving Tony Gwynn some type of award or some type of acknowledgement of his skill. But if you zoom in a little closer and look at Tony's face, Tony, it looks like he's clapping, but his facial expression doesn't seem to be very impressed at all. So I found that one hilarious. And finally here, the Big Hurt letting us know that he doesn't like to be photographed while he's in a dugout. And he's probably telling the photographer that he's #1. That's a classic comedy card there. And the last couple that I'm gonna do for Vintage Oddball Cards is found in this one here. See if I can get rid of this glare. The 1979 Topps Carl Yastrzemski. If we look at the back of this, it says here, what happened July 7th, 1923? I don't know, but we have to flip the card over to find out the answer. On July 7th, 1923, the Indians bombarded the Red Sox by the score of 27-3. What? That's insane. That's what you call a true football score in the game of baseball. Last one I'm going to show you is this 1979 Topps Nolan Ryan. Beautiful card. And on the back of it, it asks, what happened July 4th, 1890? So 4th of July. I don't know what happened that long ago. My goodness, that's over 100 years ago. But if we look, it says, Cleveland shortstop Ed Delante was charged with 9 errors in a doubleheader. Can you imagine having 9 errors in a doubleheader? That's just, my heart broke for the guy. I mean, that had to be a pretty bad day. So thank you, Vintage Oddball Cards, for that contest once again. Had a lot of fun with it this morning as I was searching through stuff. The next contest response I want to do is for Joey Brings It. I wanted to try to imitate him, but I sounded like a blooming idiot, so I says, we're not going to do that. So anyways, his contest response was to come up with the best starting lineup of all time. And this one was quite challenging. I was doing a lot of homework on this one last night, looking up different years. But perhaps my favorite one, I'm a big Chicago Cubs fan, and so I went with the 2016 Chicago Cubs. I'm gonna be quick because Joey only says don't make a production out of it, just make it 30 seconds or so and move on. But I really enjoyed this response as well. It made me do a lot of thinking, but I went with my 2016 Cubbies. I'm gonna go first with our ace, Jon Lester. Now, John in 2016, the year that they won the World Series, John was 19-5 with a 2.44 ERA, and he struck out 197 batters. The number 2 man in that rotation was Jake Arrieta, who had a phenomenal 2016 year. He went 18-8 and struck out 190 with a 3.10 ERA. Now you're thinking you're out of the woods with the 1-2 punch of Lester and Arrieta, but along comes the Professor. He's been nicknamed the Professor for his style of pitching, mimicking Greg Maddux, but also he has, if I remember right, he has like a master's degree in accounting or something. He's got like this really big college degree, and so he's nicknamed the Professor. But Kyle Hendricks in 2016 went 16-8, struck out 170 batters with a 2.13 ERA. And I'm not even talking, this is just regular season. I'm not even talking about what these guys did in the postseason, as you guys well know. But 2.13 for the season for Kyle, amazing. And then of course, Chapman, who came in mid-season, didn't play the whole season with the Cubs. He came from the Yankees mid-season, but he was a workhorse for us. He pitched in 28 games, and he pitched 26 innings and struck out 46 with a 1.01 ERA. And he would come in. It's funny that he had a 1.01 ERA that season because he was throwing the ball on an average of about 101 miles an hour. So kind of funny how that correlates. But this is my pick for the contest response, Joey. Thank you so much for having it. Had a lot of fun with it. We'll catch you guys on the next one.